Tunes hiding down under from Freiberg.
Hey, how are you, Kingy?
How you doing, lads? You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Good to see you're alive and well.
Oh, I'm just about.
Hanging by a thread, hey?
Liverpool done me, but now I'm here
Is
in
that
Freiberg.
right?
If this gets a bit too hectic, I'll take it away.
Yeah. No.
Where are you? You're at the hotel?
I'll take you outside.
Oh, you nice. How's your week?
Good. Yeah, not too bad, thanks, mate. Not too bad. Haven't really done much other than working and then talking a bit of football with Dave on Monday. So
yeah.
Unlike our friend on the other side of the world, who's been the everywhere man, Liverpool to London to Germany. Look at you go.
Fucking lovely over here, lads. Really good.
Yeah. Looked like you're having a good time last night.
Yeah, it was. I ended up going home a little bit early.
Did you?
Had a couple of waters, yeah. But feel a bit worse for wear today. That's for sure.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing?
Are you staying far from the ground?
Apparently, it's closer than the city, so I'm gonna go back and have a little kip before the game tonight, and just try and get some fucking sleep.
Yeah.
Because as you can tell from my voice, it's gone. It's probably a good thing for most people, to be honest.
I think it's your eyes that give it away more than your voice, to be honest.
Look like you're having a nice little sing-song last night.
What's that?
Look like you're having a nice little sing-song in the pub last night.
Oh, I've got the old Sweet Caroline going.
Yeah, as you do. And how was the trip up to Everton, mate?
Oh, Everton was class. Well, I'll rephrase that. Everton's result was good. The last 10 minutes was good. The 89 minutes was shit. It wasn't. And I'll tell you what, it was hard to watch it. But obviously, going in with the atmosphere and with all your mates and all that, it's great. But it was a bad game of football for about 8-9 minutes. Areola was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Areola was different class, wasn't he? Absolutely.
He was, mate. He only got in the papers over here. He only got an 8.
Really?
As a rating. I was like, he should be getting 10s.
Yeah, he should be getting 11 for that performance. We'd have been well out of the game.
The save that he made from, I think it was Beto. Beto was about 2 yards out, and he just clawed it away from the line. It was unbelievable. It was just, he was on fire. It was good, really good.
He did make some really good ones, didn't he? Especially that one. I think it was in the second half where he had to like run backwards all the way to the back post, and he's pushed it up and over. That was
that
world
one,
class, wasn't it?
The one that was looping over,
Yeah. Oh, it's good to hear you had a good time, and plenty of other West Ham fans around Freiberg today as well. Or
there's a few, there's little claret bits everywhere, so it's good. But a lot of people had a little bit of a problem getting into Freiberg yesterday. There was a lot of train strikes, plane strikes, and luckily for us, we was all right. But I think a lot of people had a bit of a problem. But it was good.
Looking at my Facebook, there's a lot of people travelling in today as well from various cities scattered around Germany and Switzerland and other places. They've got flights into, so it'll fill up as it usually does. And
we're near a Basel.
Yeah.
Here's a good one to describe you right now, mate, from Simon Matthews. Oi, oi, Savaloy. Kingy's got ashtray eyes. Well, mate, you're on holiday, so you deserve every bit of it, mate. So good to see you.
I'd be disappointed.
I want to come home.
If you were looking fresh as a daisy and you told us you'd just been out for a 5K run, I'd be very disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Honestly,
what do you got left? You got today's game, and then you got Burnley. Are you there for Freiberg as well?
Yeah, I got the old hospitality seats for that one. Got the old posh seats for
the
home game.
Yeah.
And then I've Villa.
Oh yeah, and then you head home on the Tuesday or something, don't you?
Yeah. So Yeah, the pubs are good here though. The pubs are good.
Yeah. Oh well, nice. And how's the fan base over there? Like, is it as divided as you thought it would be with more?
No. There's a lot of people that don't give a fuck about the manager by the looks of things, to be honest, which I'm really quite surprised about. But I spoke to a few people last night, and they're not really in or out. It's a weird mix, mate.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, no, it's good though. But I think everyone's just getting behind West Ham, and I mean, as I said, 89 minutes against Everton, it was a shit game of football. But when you get the results, it kind of outweighs it a little bit. But still, the football's got to be better for me. But that's just the way it is. Like, everyone's got opinions. We've always said this on this show, and like that's where we stand with it. And as long as you've got an opinion, it's whether you can articulate and argue or put it across. It's how you do it. But I'm quite happy to have a conversation with anyone about it.
European away trip as well. People aren't going to be fucking worried about that shit. It's all about the experience and just enjoying it. You know, you don't know how many more we'll get as West Ham fans.
So cherish the moments, really, don't you?
Just got to enjoy it.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably the same with the away days as well, right? You sort of with that finite group of people who are just diehard West Ham, and they followed them through thick and thin. So it'd be interesting to see what the home game reception's like against Burnley. So
yeah, I've got to be honest. I don't know how people do this week in, week out.
Yeah.
I'm fucked already.
Yeah.
I'm so out of touch, and fitness with it all is fucking ridiculous.
You'll be all right. You've got good company to train you up over the next few days, haven't you? So.
We've come over with Colin Loadman from Luxury Tours, and we've got our good mate Tony Misselbrook, who he's about 60 years old. He's an absolute machine. He's walking around at the moment in the middle of Freiberg. It's fucking freezing in a pair of shorts. So, and he just don't stop. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't change it for the world. Do you know what I mean? To come over here, I was so excited, and I'm buzzing to be here. So,
yeah. So, what are you expecting out of the game, mate? Like, I think we all wouldn't be surprised to see Areola have a bit of a rest and Fabianski come in, but are you expecting many more changes?
Perhaps not. I watched Moyes' interview today, and he's got a full deck of cards to play with. It's just how he uses them. I think we could get a result here. I think they're sitting about 9th in the table, Freiberg.
They got a result against Bayern over the weekend, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
A draw or something?
Yeah, they got a draw, didn't they? There's a couple of comments here. I'll just flash a couple out. Alan Dunn says good evening. Good to see you, Alan. Wazim, morning lads, and all in the chat. Yeah. Thanks for joining. The bowling lounge says morning Hammers, and then there's one here from Hammers Mikey, just with his opinion on the game. He says that he thinks a whole different Freiberg will turn up tonight. Not going to be an easy win, as some fans think it's going to be. As for the manager, the sooner he fucks off, the better. We'll always be behind the team, but not him. Look, I don't think that this is going to be an easy game. I am confident that we will get through over the two legs. But you know, the fact that we've beat them twice, to me, doesn't really mean anything. No. I think, you know, a good result in this game, a good result would be a win, obviously, but even a draw to me would be a decent result. And you know, Freiberg have had 2 games against us to clue themselves up about what we're all about as well. And there's more on the line. It's knockout, isn't it? So I'm not expecting anything easy. But still confident. Still confident.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like, you know, we've got to play this over 180 minutes of football. It's not just about today. just got to sort of keep ourselves in check a little bit. I'm pretty confident we're going to win, and I wouldn't be surprised to see, especially Zuma. I'm not sure he can back up for 2 games in the week, so he might get a rest, and possibly even see maybe Johnson come in for Sufau. I can't see too many changes in that midfield operation, though. I think that will still be as it is, and our front 3 will be as they are as well. I think Paqueta, Bowen, and Kudus on the right. So I think it like you got to sort of come out with a fair bit of strength here. I think so. You're copping a battering here, eh, from Simon, mate. Borax breaker and hardened up, mate. You got Burnley right to do on Sunday. It's very true, mate.
I just read them on TalkSport. 2 Brighton fans got stabbed in Roma last night, so thoughts are with them as well.
Yeah. I think there was actually a fair bit of chaos at in Atlanta. Like a lot of their fans went and attacked the Rangers hotel, throwing shit through the windows and all that kind of crap. So
it's typical Italian behaviour, though, isn't it? That's just what they do.
Yeah.
Well, if it was Skamaka there, he'd miss them anyway.
Too true.
There's a question here from Andrew Quinn. Good to see you, Andrew. He says, "What's occurring? Where have you hidden Brisbane Dave?" Well, Brisbane Dave isn't here. He's hobbling around on one leg with a busted knee. Apparently, he went to get it fixed up this afternoon with some sort of injection.
Yeah, a bit of a knees up.
Yeah, that didn't work. And
the opposite kind to you, Kingy.
So he can't make it because his knee obviously stops him talking. So.
Well, I'm gonna do a little duck and run here, lads, because my food's just turned up. But I just wanted to come say hello to you boys, miss you. Enjoy the show, everyone in the chat. Hopefully we get a win tonight. Love you all. And
what's your tip, mate? What's your tip?
3-1 West Ham.
3-1 West Ham. Oh well, enjoy yourself, mate. I'm very, very envious. So have a great time. And
see you later.
Take it easy, mate. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Yeah.
Well, he looks like he's having a good time, but he's looking a bit rough, isn't he?
He is, mate. I think he's going to be fucking very much underground for a few days after, well, probably up until the Burnley game and then well after as well. So
it is hard work though when you travel to the other side of the world like that, and then you just you kick on and keep going. I went to Frankfurt a couple of years ago, like you land there and it's non-stop. You know, you fucking on the beer every day, and it's great fun, but you literally fall onto the plane coming home and need about 3 weeks to recover.
You're practically just running on adrenaline the whole time, aren't you? So that and alcohol, and probably for him a good vape. So good luck.
Look, I'm actually really excited. It's been a while since I've been excited about a West Ham game. You know, it's obviously it's good that we've had those couple of wins. You know, there's a lot of read in the media and shit that I've heard that said the mood has changed. I don't think the mood has changed because we've won a couple of games. I don't think the stance, certainly from my perspective on many others, the stance on Moyes hasn't changed. It's just obviously going to get better when you fucking win a few games. And you know, I am genuinely excited about this tie. How can you not be? You know, it's a knockout of a European tournament, and I am confident that we will get through, and then we're in another quarter final. It's not going to be easy, but you know, I wish I was as confident as Kingy's prediction of 3-1. I'd love that. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be cagey. I don't think it'll be an overly spectacular game, but you almost don't mind that in this situation. You know, we're not. I don't think anyone would expect us to go out and try and smash them 3 or 4-0. You know, and be careful of what I say here, but Moyes' setup is probably good for these type of games.
Yeah, it is. I hear they don't mind playing 5 at the back though, so it would be like they'll play that sort of 3-5-2. So it'll be an interesting contrast to see. We'll probably go with our 4-2-3-1, but it could be quite a cagey first half of two teams sort of sitting off each other, waiting for someone to sort of throw a punch a little bit. So it will be interesting to watch, I think. But again, as we said, like it is 180 minutes of football that we've got to worry about. If we can jag the first one, it'll be interesting to see what Freiberg do, if they do change formation or they do try and go after it a little bit more. Because we're not going to make stuff easy for them at London Stadium. When we come back and play that second leg, are we? So,
not at all. I was thinking today, I can actually see him. I can see him starting Antonio tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That there is definitely potential for that. Maybe Paqueta goes into the middle and we play that sort of bank of 4 in front of the defensive duo of Alvarez and Calvin Phillips. But I don't know. I can't see him dropping Souček or maybe Ward-Prowse, but definitely not Souček. So and then maybe Phillips starts on the bench as well. So the Boylan Angels put an interesting question here about this. So how does the 5:45 work for you guys next week? It makes it worse, mate. So
it's horrible.
I think that'll mean like probably a 3:45 kickoff or something like that. Yeah. So the Sydney boys will be a little bit happier because they're still an hour in front of us, so it'll be 4:45 for them. But you go to Perth, it's the fucking middle of the night too, isn't it?
We're both in Brisbane, so 8 o'clock or 8 p.m, 9 p.m. European time.
Yeah,
it's 6 a.m. here, so it's not actually too bad. You can get and watch it. It's the sort of 2 p.m, 3 p.m, 4 p.m. kickoffs that are a killer. But switching that home leg to a 5:45 kickoff. It's just you scratch your head, don't you?
And but you do feel sorry for the home fans as well. Like what a fucking battle it's going to be for them to get there. Like they'll pretty much have to take half a day off work just to like be able to get in there at a reasonable time, or it'd be a scramble and then you miss the first 5 or 10 minutes to get through the gate, don't you?
Yeah, and it's at that awkward time as well. Like 3:45, it'll finish about 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock. There's no time for going back to bed afterwards for an hour or so. If it was an hour early, you could get away with it. But look, we'll be there watching it. Probably through one eye. But
yelling at the TV. Or actually, I know there is a Brisbane Hammers meet tomorrow morning as well. At Jimmy's on the Mall, so some of us will be going in for that. I don't think I'm going to make it myself, so I don't know if you're going to be making it there,
both. Yeah, both my girls to sort out tomorrow. So no, I'll be watching it at home.
Very true. We'll just flick back through some of the questions. Gary Brock, how are you, mate? He thinks Moyes would settle for a 1-0 win. Won't be a good night to watch. Yeah. Look, I'd take 1-0. I'd take it. If someone offered it to me right now, I'd take 1-0. I'd probably take 1-1. I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. It's not really in our DNA at the moment, is it? So
I think the problem that Moyes makes for himself, and one of the reasons that everyone gets the shits with him, is nobody would have a problem with him going there, grinding out a 1-0 or even a 1-0, and coming back and going out to beat him at home. But he's just as likely to set up that way tonight, get the 1-0, get the 1-1 draw, and then do exactly the same thing in the home leg. And that's where people really fucking get pissed off with it. If we come back and we're not getting beat, we let the shackles off and we go out and try and smash them at home. That's what people want to see. That's what makes you excited. So I think I think any kind of positive result tonight would be good. I'm as Mikey says, a 1-1 ball draw. Moyes will play for the draw. It's nailed on. Berlin Lounge says draw tonight wouldn't be the worst result. So there's a lot of sentiment around that, and I don't think anyone has an issue with it. It would be great to come back with a couple of goal advantage, but that's probably asking a little bit much.
Yeah, fair point. Do you think he's going to make too many changes tonight or for tomorrow morning? Or
I think he might. Yeah, I think he'll put Antonio in there, and from there, I couldn't even guess what he's thinking would be. You're probably right. He's not going to drop Souček after the Everton game. Whether or not he'd have to be Ward-Prowse. He left out. So I don't know. I can see him starting Antonio.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't change it. I'd stick with what we've had the last couple of games. But
I can see it. That's what I mean. Look, definitely, I think a goalkeeper change is imminent. I really can't see many changes in our forward pack or our midfield three, but possibly across the back there. I'm just not sure that Zuma's got back-to-back games in him. So I think there'll definitely be a change there. It might be Ogbonna that comes in because who else does the armband go to if he takes Zuma out of it? It could go to Fabianski, I guess, in that case. But maybe it's again. Who knows? Who really knows? Interesting comment here from Michael Blease. How are you, mate? Thanks for all your questions, guys. Freiberg of the two best players back that didn't play in the first two games, so it will be a bit different. And that is a fair comment. And look, they did get it was quite a surprise result though, wasn't it, for the draw with Bain? So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone thinks it's going to be easy, but
they seem to have a lot of parallels with us in where they are in the league, the number of games they've won, lost, and drawn. They're obviously capable of a result. They can play well, and they can also have shit days like us. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of who we could have got. These are definitely a side that you would have picked, but I wouldn't have the arrogance to say that we were the overwhelming favourites or anything.
No.
I fully, a couple of weeks ago, I would have said that whoever we played at this stage, this was going to be our last venture into Europe for the season. I think we've got the opportunity now to kick on, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I mean Hammer's marking here. It's an interesting one. Antonio will be diving all over the pitch tonight, flapping his arms about as he always does nowadays. Yeah, I think he'd relish a chance at a start though. Like he's been on the bench for the last couple, and he's done all right since he's come on. But it'd be interesting to see if he does start. Like he's definitely a handful, and the centre backs of the Bundesliga, I don't think they're the same as what he faces week in, week out in the Prem. So
they wouldn't be facing players like Antonio regularly in the Bundesliga. And he serves a purpose, and we've said it all season. Even when we were begging for him to be dropped from the team, he does have a role to play. And games like this are probably where he comes in. Whether he he warrants starting or whether he comes on, runs at a tired defence for the last 20 minutes. But it's certainly better to have him there as an option than not.
Yeah, very true. I mean, if he does come in though, like who goes out for him? Who do you think is going to make way?
See, this is the problem, and you can never really second guess what he's going to do. To me, the only one it would be Souček. That's who I would leave out. Because again, I think Souček can come on last 20, last 30 and have an impact. I don't think he will leave Souček out. So then it becomes a case of who. Ward-Prowse would be the only other one.
Yeah. Yeah, but then who slots into his position? Yeah. Do you think Paquetá comes into the middle and Bowen goes out onto the, or Curtis goes to the left and Bowen goes out onto the right?
Like,
yeah.
Everything then starts to get a bit disjointed when that change is made.
It does. But I mean, if they're going to play five at the back, I don't think we need to be playing two defensive midfielders, like we need to have like 5v5 in that scenario. So a front three and then two attacking midfielders to really go at them. Or otherwise it's just going to be a fucking snooze fest. Like, it'll be so fucking boring, because every time they're just going to outnumber us, and they'll start to progress up the pitch, and then we'll outnumber them. It'll be fucking disgraceful. It'll be a disgrace to watch. So.
Message here from Kingy. Says, let the shackles off and let the lads play. We have seen we can do it. Defensive football isn't the only way to play. Look, I think everybody agrees with you. We're certainly not talking about what we would do or what we would like to do. We're speculating on what we think might happen. And that's because it's been ingrained into us for the last 4 or 5 years that this is the approach that may be taken. And look, we might be wrong. We might be wrong. Maybe a corner has been turned.
Yeah, I mean, as Gary says there, I hope he gives a couple a go like we did when we played Seville and Lyon. I tend to agree. Like, I mean, if you go back, I don't know, 18 months or whatever it was like we seemed to play this like low block when it was we were up against the Uniteds and Man Cities and Liverpools, but it just seems to have fucking crept in everywhere now. And let's be real, like Freiberg are not Seville and they're not Lyon, so like, we need to sort of pretty much, if it was my opinion, get out there and fucking flex our muscles a little bit and say, we are a better, bigger club than you, and this is how we're going to play this leg. And wouldn't it be great to go away with a 3-1 win, and then we go back to our place and then beat them 3-0 again, like 6-1.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out of the question with us, but somehow this Moyes ball's crept in across every game, right?
The thing is, even if we did go out like that and we found ourselves, 2-0 down, we get caught twice on the counter attack in the first half. We're 2-0 down. If we're going at a team for 90 minutes, we're going to score at least one. And just back yourself. And if need be, you need to tighten the game up later on, and take your chances at home. Then do it. It's what clubs or teams and managers with a different mentality would do. So you're right. It is only Freiberg. With all due respect, we should be going out there and flexing our muscles.
Yeah. Well, Andy's put something in. Do you want to read it out, mate?
Yeah. So I think he's going to go with Phillips beside the machine to get him sharp. Rest JWP, Souček in the pocket, Paquetá left, Kudus right, Bowen up top, 3-1 West Ham.
Yeah,
I could see that happening. I could. In fact, to be clear, my preference would be that. Than starting with Antonio. But don't you think they're playing two defensive midfielders against a side like this? It's a fucking waste. Like I don't think we need it. So, just gonna say, it's not really the. I wouldn't be putting Phillips in there. If Alvarez is fine, he can run that show there. So agree. I'd leave JWP in.
Yeah, and unless he does it to release Alvarez further up the field, then I can understand that. But like to have those two sitting, in front of a back four, I think it's just a complete and utter waste of time against this type of opposition. It's the same against Burnley. Like we don't need two defensive midfielders playing against the fucking worst side in the Premier League. So they ship goals like there's no tomorrow. Like we and look, I know we're sort of getting ahead of ourselves a bit here, but we just need to fucking like play to our strengths, and it's not sitting back. Like we leak goals like a fucking sieve. So
There's a comment here from Michael, please. We need to win, knock the Germans out, as it will increase England's coefficient, bringing the 8th spot closer for a Euro spot next season. Which if that's the case, that could come in handy. We could be doing ourselves a favour. So, not that we need any more incentive to knock the Germans out or go through, but if we can do ourselves, or it'd be ironic if we ended up doing Chelsea or someone a favour.
Yeah. No, it's a bit like that.
So look, I'm fucking team selection aside and all that. I'm just looking forward to to another decent European tie. You talk about the Seville, Lyon, Alkmaar. Some of the games that you remember forever. And I think I'd be disappointed now if we didn't go through this round, and get a real decent tie. In the next round, whether that's AC Milan or whoever. I think that would be great for everyone. I'm still very dubious about whether we can win the thing. I think we need a huge amount of good fortune for that to happen. But
it's different gravy though. Yeah, cup games are different. Say what you like. You look at Liverpool are the biggest threat in there. If you ask me, they've got a massive game coming up against Manchester City on the weekend, right? So I think they'll win. They'll win this round of the cup, but if they lose to City on the weekend, all of a sudden they're not sitting top of the tree anymore, and the league becomes very important. So whereas
absolutely.
Like for us, it's fucking all or nothing, so to speak. So there's different agendas at play there. Andy's put an interesting question up here for it. I'd love to hear your take on it. So it's 85 minutes and we're 3-1 up. Who do you bring on from the bench? Orford, Casey, Earthy, or Sawyer?
He's not going to bring any of them on, is he?
That's right, mate. Fucking 85 minutes. That's Danny Ings time, isn't it? That's when he comes on and earns his fucking 50 bazillion thousand whatever pounds he gets a fucking week for a game. So
if it's 85 minutes and we're 3-1 up, he will be doing nothing except shitting himself, shutting up shop, or bringing Danny Ings on. One of those. That's right. And then 95th minute, I think Cornet's injured, but that's when he'd come on and fucking get 3 offsides in fucking 2 minutes, wouldn't he? Absolutely. I heard a statistic the other day that Erling Haaland's only been caught offside once this season.
Really?
It's fucking amazing, isn't it? And we've got that clown Cornet who could do it within 10 seconds of coming on.
He says, "Come over here for a masterclass, Mr. Haaland." I'll show you how it's done. Although Haaland could fucking show a few people how to miss a sitter, couldn't he?
He certainly could. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Simon Matthews posed the question: Liverpool in the final. To be honest, if we got to the final, I wouldn't really want to play Liverpool. Not because I don't think we'd beat them or they'd beat us or whatever. I just think if we're going to get to another European final, I wouldn't want to share it with them fucking scumbags or any other English team. To be honest, anyone else, Leverkusen, Rangers, AC Milan. To me, it should be, or it would be better if it's a European affair. And
that does take a bit of the polish off it, doesn't it?
Could you imagine losing to them? It would magnify the fucking.
That's it.
Pain.
Not a granny in London would be safe, would they?
Oh man, Michael, please. Xabi Alonso v Klopp final. If the draw is good to them, possibly. Fucking both. I've got no interest in them. I hope that we're there. If we're not, then I couldn't really care less, to be honest. I don't have any affection or affiliation for anyone else.
No, fuck them.
So the Berlin Lounge has just said we'd rather play Liverpool in the final than over 2 legs. Look, from a football perspective, absolutely. You know, we've much more chance of beating them over 1 leg than 2. But I would just rather not play another English team in the final. Or I'd play them on the way to the final, but then we'd get beat. That's 22, isn't it?
Interesting at a neutral ground though. That would be the only part though, right?
Yeah. Which they wouldn't have tickets for, and then they'd storm the gates trying to get in and whinge and bitch about everything. So anyway,
very, very, very true. Very, very
true. So and then look, after that we've got Burnley on Sunday.
Yeah, we do. So we're not going to have another show for then, so we should talk about it a bit.
Yeah, there really isn't many games that you look at and say we should 100% be winning this.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield United at home and away, given that they've lost the last 3 home games by five or more. I think the last time they didn't lose was against us.
We had to bring it up.
But Burnley at home, mate, that's a game you've got to win.
Absolutely.
You have to win it.
There's no question about that. We do. We have to win that. And funny enough, though, like I mean, Dave and I talked about it a little bit on the show on Monday. The form we were in before we played these 4 games against Forest, Brentford, Everton, and Burnley, there wasn't too many people out of all of us, myself included, thinking that we could get 9 points out of it. But if we don't get 9 points now, like that's unfathomable. Like we cannot get anything other than a win against Burnley, because our last 10 games are fucking abysmal. We've got like there's a lot of games there that we just go, geez, a draw would be nice. And I think it's Villa away is the first one, right, straight after Burnley. So we need it. We definitely need it. If we're any chance of that, whether it's 8th, 7th, or top 6, we just need those 3 points. They're a must get. Yeah,
absolutely. And Gary Brock's just said the same thing. It's going to get tough after Burnley. And I honestly don't think that Burnley game is affected by what happens at Freiberg. Win, lose or draw, unless we get absolutely steamrolled in Freiberg, which I can't see happening. If we do lose, I think it would only be 1-0, 2-1, something like that. So it's still going to be, the tie's in the balance. Yeah, nothing that happens in Freiberg would excuse not beating Burnley.
No, exactly. Yeah,
and if we do, it's 9 points. It's 3 wins from 3. It gives us a bit of momentum. You've got that issue that we had the back end of the 22 season, where the deeper we went into Europe, the shitter we were in the league. Which you could see happening again. And our final league position might suffer as a result of that. But that's why we need to get these points on the board when we can.
We do, but like Michael's raised a good point here. When things are going to have got tough for us, especially over this season, we've got better. And if you look at our results early run, which was really tough, like we got through them. Like there wouldn't have been too many people that gave us a chance against, especially over that Christmas period. We had Spurs, United, and Arsenal, and we fucking won a lot of them, didn't we? So
absolutely. It's been the games that you kind of pencil in as 3 points that we've really let ourselves down with. So we do seem to do things very back to front. But there's another comment here from Gary Brock, which I think is important. The players are going to burn out at the end of the season. It's a very thin and aging squad, which it is, and that's could be something that works against us, because he's not going to go back and play any of the kids or even the fringe players. You know?
Yeah,
they're not going to get that much of a look in.
No, it's true. I mean, look, I hope for our sake and for his that Phillips starts to fucking show up and be the player that we know he can be, you know, because we definitely need that depth, especially in that midfield space. You know, Dave and I were talking about it with Alvarez, right? Like he's one card away from a two-game ban, which you know, it's not until the 32nd game of the season that gets wiped out altogether. That's 5 games.
Yeah, so he's going to get it.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like, and as Andy says here, like we've got Villa after Burnley, Newcastle, and then the Spuds. Like, there's some fucking tough games, and you know that there's going to be some times where we're going to get compromised. We're going to get, you know, caught out in the middle, and there'll be a break on, and he will have to fucking throw in a slide challenge. Now, mate, he's not going to get every single one of them right, you know. Yeah. So it's going to be tough. So we do need Phillips to step up into that space, but you know, we cannot afford an injury, so we do have to rotate, and then which means, you know, we're going to need players like Aged, Ogbonna. They've all got roles to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
the comment here from Jeff Hathaway. Thanks for the comment, Jeff. He says it would be just like us to beat Spurs at home. It would. It would be very typical of us in the way that we go about things.
Yeah.
I'd fucking love that. I would love it. Get the double over them. You know, that they're going to end up with another trophyless season. So,
just, you know, isn't it?
It's absolutely brilliant, and not even taking a point off us. It's just, look, I'm just fucking beaming already.
Just talking about it, right? Fantasizing about a win over Spurs, and Matty gets a little wood.
So, a comment here from Wazim. Do you think the fan mood has softened after the last 2 wins? Would it take much to make it worse? I'll answer that. And I can talk about my mood. My mood has got better. My stance has not softened. You know, all I want out of life is to enjoy watching West Ham, and for West Ham to give it a go, and, you know, try and win games of football. When I can live with one. I can live with. I can live with them both not happening. But if we're set up to not go out and try and win a game, then to me that takes the enjoyment out of it, right? And winning a couple of games in a row, it makes me happy because I want to see us win games of football. You know, and I think if we won games like we won at Burnley earlier in the season, if we could win every game of the season like that, would I be happy? And I really wouldn't. I fucking wouldn't, because everybody would hate us. Everyone would hate watching it. It'd be absolutely shit. So, my stance hasn't softened in that I don't like Moyes. I don't like the way he does things. If Moyes will change the way that he does things, then I don't have anything against him personally, other than the fact that I think he's become a bit of a deluded, arrogant twat. But I think that's a self-defense mechanism kicking in because of the pressure that he's been under. If he's happy to change, then I don't have an issue with that. But we know that he's not. So my stance hasn't changed. My mood has. My mood is a lot better because I'm seeing us win, and I've seen us play a decent game against Brentford. You know, Everton wasn't great. We were lucky to be in it, and we had a couple of decent goals at the end. So would it take much to make it worse? I honestly don't think it would. I think if Moyes reverts to type, and, you know, we have a couple of games, even if they're not poor results, you know, if we set up terribly, if we set up typical Moyes tomorrow night, we draw 1-1 and it's a shit game. And then we go and beat Burnley 1-0 and it's a shit game. And then we play Freiberg and we end up going through on fucking penalties and it's a shit game. we've gone through the tie and we've beaten Burnley at home, but no one will be happy. The mood will be fucking foul. So I don't think it'll take a lot to make it worse. That was a very long-winded answer.
Yeah. No, you've kind of described it quite well, and I tend to agree with everything you kind of say there. Like, I can't see Moyes changing. You know, like I think he's almost going down a rabbit hole that he just cannot get out of. So, you know, and there was some a comment in here earlier on that, like, you know, here it is from Gary, and it does worry me a little bit as well. You know, that more if he's worried that if Moyes is going to stay if we keep picking up wins, and fuck it, I don't know how he would change it, because look, it's okay if we've got a style that we don't concede and then we go and nick wins at nick goals at the other end, but we're shipping goals like there's no tomorrow. Defensively, we're poor. We don't have the structure that we used to have, where we could just grind it out and then get the 1-0 at the other end. Like, and I don't mind watching it if we're defensively solid, but we're just not. But then like to think about it the way we are and try and play higher up the pitch to, you know, put more pressure on the opposition, it just doesn't seem to be happening. So I've said it all along that, like, I think it's just time, you know, like, thanks for everything. Now fuck off, you know. And I'd like to have that memory of Moyes of, you know what, we had 3 great years in Europe. We picked up a trophy. We finished high up the ladder so that we can continue our European journey. But he's obviously got, like, somebody can get more out of these players that we have. We're going to need a few more players, as you know, other people have mentioned in the chat tonight. We do have a very, very old list. You know, I can't see Ogbonna going on for another year. Zoom is fucked, so we do need at least two centre backs in that squad. You know, Antonio's he's old as balls as well, so we need another striker. So that to me, if that was like somebody like, and you know, there's rumours floating around that Marco Silva could be our guy, or you know, that Slot or whatever his name is, Arnie Slot, is that the one?
Arnie Slot,
yeah. I'd be pretty excited if to take on what we have and then be able to, you know, bring in a couple of central defenders and a striker. That's and then, you know, be in London, 60,000 seat stadium.
Yeah,
I think we're attractive to somebody. So I just don't think we need to settle for Moyes, regardless of what he's done for us. You know, Sully's got to have the fucking onions to go, all right, mate, thanks very much. It's time for a change for us, and maybe it's a time for you as well. So,
and you know, I think it could actually have, you know, if they were to make a decision and make an announcement and say he is going to be gone at the end of the season, I think a lot of that angst, a lot of that frustration would go, because people would think, do you know what, he's going to be gone. We've got something new. Yeah. We're still in a decent position to achieve something. Let's all get behind everyone and see if we can get a top 6 finish. See if we can get another trophy. And then, but you know,
I think some of that trepidation comes though. Like, if we're continually in Europe, like, I don't think there's going to be a time where you can just sort of say that to Moyes, you know, because like if we continue on, like, the last game of Europe is after the last game of the Premier League season, right? So the deeper we go into Europe, the longer that conversation continues to sort of, I guess, you know, be played out behind closed doors and not announced. So it's one of those things, right?
Yeah, Paul Williams says Moyes is gone. The board have discussed a contract where he has no control over HR. He hasn't been given one, hence the outs and saving money in January for a new start and appointing manager. Look, you know, it makes sense if that's what's gone down. Then, you know, you can understand it. I don't think anybody knows 100% what's going on. I can see that as you know, being feasible. But, you know, does that change then if he does get another top 6 finish, if he does get us to a final or a semi-final, I don't know. Bullin Lounge says we've been linked with almost as many managers as we have players in the January transfer window, and we got fucking none of them. we got a fat, overweight Calvin Phillips.
And got rid of two of the players that could possibly have an impact off the bench, Actually, three of them, really. Everyone keeps forgetting because Kera went so early in the window.
Yeah, he did. He did, yeah. And Kera would be good cover for.
Any one of them would be, for now to come in and play attacking midfield, Ben Rama on the left-hand side, he's a fucking much better option than Cornet, that's for sure.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
I'm not Ben Rama's biggest fan, but fuck me, he is so much better than Cornet. Cornet makes Ben Rama look like a footballer. So
absolutely.
Yeah. That was really poor, wasn't it?
We'll probably wrap it up soon because we've both got an early start in the morning to get up and see what viewing pleasure David Moyes has got in store for us. But look, I just hope we give it a go. I hope that we actually, we don't sit back and just invite the pressure on. There was a comment there, which I saw from Gary Brock. There it was. Our best form of defence is attack. We need to outscore other teams. When you think about that, and you think about a manager like Silva or someone who's more attacking minded, and what you're saying about 60,000 seat stadium and all that kind of stuff. If we just changed our approach with this team that we've got, and we did just go out to outscore other teams, you would see more games like the Brentford game. We would be the team that everybody wants to watch with no real change of players. All right, you might make a couple of tweaks here and there, but you're talking about that core front three and midfield. It's there already. It just needs somebody to say, you know what, this is what we're going to do. And if they score, so what? We're going to score. We're going to score too. I'd love it if that happened.
Yeah, we've got it in us, though, haven't we? I mean, you look at the Arsenal game as well. Like we just came out and fucking just had a dip. Look, I don't know what you think, mate, but I'd fucking love to see us go and get someone like Bielsa because he's just fucking mad as a cut snake. But all he wants to do is like go, all right, well, if you score 4, we're going to score 5. Fuck it, and that's all I think we want as West Ham fans. Is just to get out there and say, we know we're going to lose, but it happens. It's who we are. But so long as we're scoring goals and having a bit of fun along the way.
Absolutely.
It'd be brilliant to watch. But anyway, so what are your predictions, mate? What do you reckon we're going to get tomorrow, and what do you reckon Burnley's going to be?
Yeah, look, I think tomorrow is going to be tight. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw tomorrow. I think it'll be. I think Freiberg will be better than they were. I think we'll put in a decent performance. I think it'll be a 1-1 that we look at and think, you know what, that's good. We've actually done a good job there.
Yeah.
And then for Burnley, I mean, you've got to be looking at 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, something like that, haven't you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to speculate, but if we're not coming away with a comfortable victory of 2 goals or more, then we've probably not played that well. So I'll go 3-0 for Burnley.
Yeah, well, I reckon
I'll go 3-1 because we're going to let one in.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think we're going to win 2-1 tomorrow. In a fucking cagey affair, but I think we'll probably get the business done. It'll probably be late. We'll run over the top of them because I think we'll be a bit fitter and stronger than them eventually. Yeah. And I think it'll be a 3-1 against Burnley. I'd love for us to have a clean sheet somewhere along the way. I just can't see where the fuck it comes from with the way that our defence has been playing. So yeah. I think that's for me. And off to bed now and then up early in the morning.
Absolutely. Just last comment here from the Bowling Lounge. Good show, lads. Hopefully it's not too painful. Have to get up in the early hours. we're used to it. Like I say, that there's worse games. The home game next week is going to be a killer.
It will be.
Thank you to everyone who's joined us, everyone who's commented. It's really good. We used to when we first started, we used to try and get through every single comment, but it's not possible to do that anymore. So that's just shows how sort of far we've grown and how many comments we're getting. So they are all, we read them all, we scan through them all, we try and get to as many as we can. So do keep them coming. Like and subscribe if you haven't. We are getting pretty close to 1,000 now, so it'd be good to get there before the end of the season.
It will be.
But look, thanks to everyone. Thanks to you, Nath, Kingy, Dave. Hope you're staying safe and back to health soon. And we'll catch up on Monday, and hopefully we're talking about a couple of wins.
That's it. All right, thanks, mate. One thing left,
Nice
I guess.
one. Yeah.
Come on, you ones. Cheers.